Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the February 7th Daily Inspirational Message. It's the condensed version. It's 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and then make a couple comments on the message. And I trust that will assist both of us on our journeys. Okay, here we go. Title: Ending the Blame Game. Paragraph 1. Today, I stop placing blame. By doing so, I start taking greater personal responsibility for how I am feeling. As I take greater responsibility for my thoughts and how I feel, the world outside me begins to lose its power and control over me. I now see and understand that the more I blame this world and those in it, the more of my power I give away. The more of my power I give away, the more control the world seems to have over how I feel. Now, having taken greater responsibility for my thoughts, it is I who controls the amount of peace or mental anguish that I experience. By doing so, I am no longer held captive to this world's whims. Now, I acknowledge that it is not what others do that affects my state of mind, but how I react to what they do that affects me. Paragraph 2. Today, let us stop blaming the outer world for how we feel. Now we know that if we blame the world, we give our power away to it. Now we know that because our journey is a perfect co-creation with God, every moment of it will be used for good to help us grow, heal, and awaken. Now we know that we can control the thoughts we think. Understanding this, we now take full responsibility for our thoughts and thus of our lives. We now know that being love's children, we are here to create as God created, through love. Forgiveness and compassion are expressions of love. Now, if we find ourselves lost in the blame game, we will no longer condemn ourselves or others. Instead, we will simply recall the truth in us, align with a loving nature, and choose forgiveness and compassion. Okay, ending the blame game. Yes, this is actually very, very important. The goal today is simply to practice taking personal responsibility for how you are reacting to your environment. And by doing so, you start to figure out, wait, yes, I control my thoughts. My thoughts do not control me. And why is that? Because let's say you're interacting with somebody and they're using less than loving words, and you start to judge them, okay? Why are you feeling less than loving in nature, or less than at peace in this situation? Why? It's not because of what they're saying. It's because of how you're defining what they're saying. And how are you defining what you're defining? It's simply because either you've been programmed to believe in the ego, in the world of fear and separation and judgment and anger and resentment and all those less than loving emotions, or you have the mindset of your creator, which is love, which is your true mindset. But because you're judging the situation, or because you're angry at whatever person X or Y is saying, it shows you that you have aligned with the ego's mindset. And so you're not controlling your thoughts, because your programs are controlling your thoughts. And so you're not even in control. The ego is in control of your mind, and that's why your mind is reacting with something other than love to your brother or sister. And so that's why you don't need to punish yourself when that happens. Because when you're doing something other than loving your brother or sister, or seeing their actions as less than a call for love, that simply let that simply trigger in you the understanding that, wait, okay, I'm reacting in this manner because it's not really me reacting, it's my program, my past programming that I've been taught by either my family, my friends, my society, and then I reinforce. But obviously, it's not bringing me to a place of peace, so obviously this must be off somehow. And it's off because in reality, it's just a delusion, it's nothing, it's not real. And nothing that's not real will ever satisfy you. No matter how right the society, the family, the friends tell you. And so the idea is just to, okay, I'm reacting with judgment towards my brother or sister. Doesn't matter what they say. It could be 1,000 things. It's all the same thing. It's the same action. And so practice catching yourself. Okay, today I'm focusing on ending the blame game. I gotta stop this useless path that gets me nowhere other than to resentment, guilt, shame. I mean, who wants that really? And so if we practice ending the blame game, if we practice blaming the outer world, we stop giving our power away to the outer world. Because if we're blaming them, then somehow the solution resides out there. And if the solution resides out there, then you have no control. And then you'll feel out of control and confused and chaotic. Why? Because you think you have no control. But what if you start practicing recalling that you do have control, you do have free will. You can choose a better, more productive and loving way. And when you start to see that you have the power, the outer world begins to lose its power over you. And the more it loses its power over you, the less it can affect how you feel. And so if you're feeling anything other than love and peace and joy and gratitude, that's because somehow, some way, the outer world, your past programming, has control over your mind. But that's okay. That's just part of the human growth process. And so when that happens, don't punish yourself for that. Don't consider yourself less spiritual or less loving or unworthy. Don't do that. We've already done that numerous times. Don't feel guilty or shame because of the way you acted. Yes, sure, offer forgiveness if you reacted in that manner. Please forgive me. Because that will bring you back to peace, because forgiveness is an aspect of love, of your Creator. And so anything that's an aspect of your Creator brings you peace, brings you healing, brings you joy. And so let us practice doing that today. Just simply, in every interaction, taking more responsibility for the way you're reacting, for your reactions, for how you're feeling in that moment. Remember, how you feel, remind yourself, how you feel in that moment is a choice I'm making. I'm making that choice. But if I'm making the choice, that's good. That's good, because the power resides within me. The power to change resides within me. So I can change my world by changing my mind about my world, by aligning my mind with my Creator, with love, and choosing only to see through love's lens. You can see through the ego's lens, and that's the programming of judgment and anger, resentment, and hate. And then you'll see all that stuff, all the negative stuff. That's the ego's lens. Love's lens will always help you see the world with compassion, with forgiveness, with understanding, with appreciation. And appreciation, why? Why appreciation? Because united with Source, at center one with the truth in you, you'll remember that no matter what is happening out there, everything out there is happening for your good. so that you can heal, so that you can awaken, so that you can brighten your light, so that you can guide others to the light in them. And so everything out there is happening for you, because everything out there is showing you what you're holding on within your mind and heart. What are you holding on within your mind and heart as true? The outer world will show you by the way that you react to the outer world. So thank you, outer world, and whatever, it doesn't matter what it was, whatever it was, thank you. Because you're showing me if I'm aligned with my true nature, which is source, or if I'm aligned with the ego's darkness. And so today, that's why we end the blame game. No matter what, end your blame game. It is unworthy of you. You have tried that enough times to see that it doesn't work. It only brings pain and suffering and anguish and agony to your life. And you're not, those things are not unworthy of you. The only thing that's worthy of you is the love that God is and all of love's expressions. Those are the only things that belong within you. And those are the only things that you came into this world to share with others. You came into this world to bring light into the darkness, so that darkness can dissipate and everybody else can begin to see the truth in them, the love in them as true. And so, end judgment, end the blame game. That's not really you. That's your past programming. That's the delusion that we've been taught as real, because we reinforced it over and over again. And over again, we hit the dead-end road, and over again, we somehow think that's the path to peace. No. Discard that. Discard blame. Discard judgment. Discard hatred. Discard anger and resentment and hate and shame and guilt. Discard that. It's unworthy of you. You have free will. You can discard that. You can make it a conscious choice by ending the blame game to discard that. And see that it is you who are defining your experience. So it's you who has the power. And I should be saying you, pointing over here instead of there. You know, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway. Okay. And again, like most videos, we try to end it with gratitude, because that's the end of every sacred circle. Gratitude simply because everything out there is helping us practice taking back control of our own minds. And if everything out there and everyone out there is simply helping us practice letting this go and uniting with the source, what would be your proper response to that? Gratitude. And so thank you. Thank you every day. No matter how dark the ego says it is, thank you. Because I control my thoughts, and therefore I control my life and mind. My mind and life. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening. I love you very much. If you can be so kind as to like, comment, or share, it would help with the listening process, and it might help somebody start to end their own blame game. And if you made it this far, extra love. I love you guys. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.